much
Absolutely, man.
time you got?
Well, how did it come about for you to even be interested in becoming a radio host? Was that a decision later in life or early on?
That was way early. I
Okay.
was 6 years old. I was the kid that got up on Saturday mornings at 6 o'clock in the morning. I snuck out to the living room, and back then it was old solid state stereos that you weren't allowed to touch. That
Uh-huh.
was dad's right. Like we have our stuff, like our electronics and
Yeah.
stuff. We're like, nah, you don't touch that. That's mine. That's how this was with the home stereo in the living room. But I would flip on the radio and listen to the Rick Dees countdown on Saturday mornings at 6 o'clock in the morning. Man, I was fascinated with radio. I
Wow.
thought that was the coolest thing. I was like, how does he have, well, back then it was like
Yeah.
whoever, Barry Manilow, or, well, I don't know who, Billy Joel, Elton John, but still, like, even in Elton John back then, like, late 70s, early 80s, was like, how does he get these people just to show up in his studio every week? And oh my gosh, these are the biggest songs in the country right now, the top 40 playlist,
Yeah.
right straight out of the Billboard magazine, which I didn't even know it existed at that time. But yeah, 6 years old, man, I was fascinated. I thought it was the coolest thing. And I just love the idea of being able to introduce people to music. Probably more so, I just love to hear the sound of my voice, at 6 years
Yeah.
old, thinking, it sounded like way deeper and older than it did. But I started from there. I started kind of dreaming one of two ways. I thought it would be really cool to be a pop star, no question.
Okay.
I thought it would be a lot of fun to be on stage and singing and doing all that. So I started messing around that way a little bit. But also at the same time, man, I was grabbing my parents' old Earth, Wind. I just told my mom this story. She didn't even know. This is like more than 40 years later. I would steal my parents' Earth, Wind, and Fire records, which also you were not allowed to touch the records in the house. And we only had like a dozen. We didn't even have that many records. We had a Barry Manilow record, a Billy Joel record, Kenny Rogers, Bee Gees,
Okay.
which also, that's a whole nother, oh my gosh, a massive influence on who I am today.
Okay.
And what I believe about music and the music business and just all that good stuff. But a Cheech and Chong record,
Oh, wow.
and
Okay.
which I got into. Like, I listened to it, I was like, Dave's not here. And then Earth, Wind, and Fire, and it was the first kind of music that I heard that was just different. It was just different than anything that I was really hearing on the radio at all.
Uh-huh.